The life of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was a famous explorer. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed from Europe to the Americas. He sailed across the Atlantic Ocean, thinking he would find a quicker route to Asia. It is important to note that Christopher Columbus did not discover the Americas, but he started regular contact and travel between Europe and the Americas. Vikings had landed in the Americas 500 years prior. Columbus did not know this. Indigenous people were living in the Americas before the Vikings or Columbus arrived. Christopher Columbus learned to sail in a wooden ship with sails. He learned to navigate at sea by using the stars and the sun. He went to live in Portugal and sold maps with his brother. He wanted to travel west to reach China, to find spices such as cinnamon, ginger, and black pepper. Columbus needed funds for his exploration, so the King and Queen of Spain gave him money to buy ships. He set sail on August 3, 1492 with 3 ships. The ships were named the Santa Maria, the Nina, and the Pinta. The Nina and the Pinta were ships called caravels. Caravels were small, sleek, and known to be fast. They were also easy to maneuver, and that was important for exploring close to the land and coastline. Caravels could hold about 20 people and did not have much storage or cargo space. The crew often slept on deck unless the weather was bad. The Santa Maria was the flagship of the journey. The flagship is the lead ship of a voyage. The Santa Maria was a larger and bulkier cargo ship known as a carrack or Noah. It was about 36 meters. That's longer than a football field. Columbus used a compass to help him navigate the journey. The crew became restless because the trip took longer than originally expected. Some men even wanted to turn back to Spain. Finally, after more than 2 months at sea, land was spotted. It was not the East Indies as Columbus thought. Instead, they had reached an island in the Bahamas that Columbus called San Salvador. Columbus incorrectly called the indigenous people he met there Indians because he thought they had reached an area of Asia, then known as East Indies. The indigenous people were initially friendly and were willing to trade items such as parrots, cotton, and spears with the explorers. They did not like it when they found out that Christopher Columbus had come to claim the island for Spain. Columbus and his crew soon began to take the indigenous peoples that they met as prisoners and servants. Many of these prisoners were enslaved and taken back to Spain and forced to work under very difficult conditions. Their freedom was taken away and they were treated inhumanely. Columbus and his men also brought diseases with them to the islands. This had a terrible impact on the indigenous people's population. Diseases like smallpox, influenza, and measles did not exist in this area before Columbus arrived. Within 100 years after the arrival of Columbus, these illnesses had wiped out almost 95% of the people there. Let's have a conversation. Why do you think slavery is wrong? And why was it wrong of Christopher Columbus to enslave indigenous peoples? On the night of December 25, 1492, the Santa Maria hit a reef and was damaged beyond repair. It has been said that Columbus ordered some of the ship's timber to be collected to build a fort on the island. Columbus left 40 men on the island to continue the search for gold and to build the fort. He returned to Spain with the other 2 ships. Columbus returned to the island a year later to find none of his men alive and the fort in ashes. Christopher Columbus sailed to the Americas in 1502 for the 4th time, still hoping he would get to Asia. Instead, he ended up in Central America. His ships disintegrated during the journey, so he had to wait an entire year to return to Europe. He became very ill when he returned and died in 1506. Even after Columbus received money from the King and Queen of Spain, he still had a difficult time finding a crew to sail with him. Many still believed that the world was flat, so many sailors feared falling off the edge of the earth. The sailors ate stew made from salt, meat, and bones. They did not eat many fruit and vegetables, and that caused many of them to suffer from a disease called scurvy. Scurvy occurs when there is a severe lack of vitamin C in your diet. Columbus returned to Spain with new foods from the island like avocados, pineapples, pumpkins and corn. Corn kernels were planted in Europe and became a very important crop there. Columbus sailed to many of the islands in the Caribbean, calling this area the New World. Let's have a discussion. What have you learned about Christopher Columbus? Why is it wrong to say that Christopher Columbus discovered America? And what more would you like to know about this time in history?